Oh, since I have given you the opportunity to prove yourself with the good twin and the nice twin, and you haven't done it, and I've been fairly, decent to you. Let's go ahead and take the gloves off since you want to talk about punk moves and shit like that. I am tired of your illiterate ass talking about what you want. You have been in this space how long? Almost 20 years and have produced nothing of value. You talked about a punk move about cyber mobbing a feminist that has poked her nose into the business of the black manosphere for the most part. And as a public figure that she goes online talking about black men, we can do what? We can actually do what? We can actually go back and forth with her. We can critique her. There's a word for you. I don't know if you can actually pronounce that word, but critique her. Just like she critiques the black manosphere. So, just like anything else, you don't determine what kind of environment there is online. The environment is an environment that people make. And you do not have the wits, wherewithal, knowledge, brain cells, or influence to do that. And why you would mention me in the culture online when this culture started way before it started with us. And guess what the women did to the men back there? They did punk moves first. They're still doing punk moves. It was a punk move to what the young lady did to Obsidian. But guess what? Fair is fair. It is what it is. But she drew attention to herself. And she came after the manosphere. So guess what we're going to do? She's going to have to answer to that. She wanted to draw attention. She wanted to draw first blood. She did. Fine. There's something that comes with it. And she said that she was going to come after everybody else. And she said that she was going to come after other people in the black manosphere and make it her job to actually eliminate that culture. Guess what? You can't throw no shots without taking no shots. Just like you. Can't throw no shots without taking no shots. And your dumb ass should know that with your silly self. I've been fairly nice to you. I've been fairly decent to you. I actually responded to you. I gave you an opportunity to basically promote yourself, improve yourself, which you have not. You do the same silly shit that you've been doing since I met you. You bring nothing of value. And the only power that you have is the power that YouTube gives you to at people, to make people aware of your presence. And I'm going to say this, unless you have something of value or something other than this bullshit that you just produced, don't at me. Because from now on, it will not be nice. And the bullshit that you just did, I'm not even going to cut up because it didn't mean anything. If you want to defend her or come at us, come with something. Don't just come with this crap that you got with called your silly ass opinion. And with the bullshit theories that you come up with. I don't like ADOS because I want to call it something else. Get the fuck out of here. Stay in your lane and stay on your level because you don't belong on this level. You shouldn't even be talking to me. That's what my subs say. You shouldn't even be talking to me. I should not even acknowledge your presence. And I have done you a great service by even acknowledging your presence. There's nothing that you can do for me. There's nothing that you can teach for me. There's nothing that you can even argue with me about. And every time I grace your channel with my presence, that's a good day for you. But guess what? It will not happen any further. And every time you come at me, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about your ass like a dog. Because with your illiterate, non-reading, non-speaking, non-verbal ass, you come on in here with your speech impediment. Get the fuck in the library, do some goddamn work, learn how to at least argue the case. Stop going online depending on some other weak ass feminist ideals. Learn it for yourself. At least they did. They might not know how to use it correctly. At least they did. That's how come they gave up. They have nothing. Bring something to the table instead of coming in with your knife and fork, wanting to chow down. Stop bothering me with this weak ass shit. Go away, son. Go away. Stop with this cry for attention. When I gave you attention, you couldn't handle it. When I gave you attention, everybody laughed at you. Now, if you got something, you got proof, you actually want to have something, have a dialogue, come with something instead of arguing like a goddamn woman. In fact, women argue better than you do. They make more sense than you do. I don't care if you agree with Kimberly Nicole Foster. I don't care if you agree with Bowser. I could care less. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about either. That's the goddamn problem. There's nothing that she said that a first year freshman couldn't say the exact same thing. If I wanted to hear this firsthand, I got 2 daughters that have degrees. They don't even say this dumbass shit that this chick is saying. I got cousins with doctorates in education. They don't say the dumbass shit that this chick is saying. So if you can't come with a better dialogue, a better argument, why don't you just go away? You've been doing this for almost 10 years. Why don't you just go away and stay in your little corner? Or better yet, why don't you go over and hobnob with Reg the bad guy? He might agree with you. You have no idea how the world works. You have no idea how your city works. You really don't have any idea how the country works. Feminism will die on its own. But that's the outtake. That's what they're afraid of. That's what Bowser's afraid of. That's how come they're going after so-called pick-me's, is because guess what? Women are waking up and figured out this shit does not work. Talking about online culture. If you want a better online culture, why don't you promote it for your doggone self? Because all you do is go back and forth and argue with people. In fact, you drag the culture down. Go to your whole channel is you bitching and moaning about what somebody said to you. And you guys have been bitching and moaning about amongst yourselves for the last 10 years about the same shit and actually go nowhere. Now, I presented a whole bunch of topics to you to actually see where your brain is and where your knowledge is. And guess what? You have failed miserably. The only thing you can talk about is this back and forth online so-called gender war shit. That's all you know. If when it gets outside of that, you have nothing to say. You really don't have nothing to say about this because you really don't even understand what the principles are. So if you are good enough, you can try to stop it. And one person is not going to stop it. Now she's gone after academics, so now they're in on it. I was only going to make 1 or 2 videos about her, but you want a jihad. She does not want me to do a jihad on her channel because she doesn't know enough. I would do a jihad on your channel, but you don't know enough. There's nothing that you can present that I can't tear apart within like 10 minutes. There's nothing that you can present that I cannot tear apart in 10 minutes. And you know it. So why don't you do yourself and your subs and your people a favor and go away back to your little corner and leave me alone. That would be your best bet. Because from now on, I will not be nice with your little silly ass. Get the fuck out of here.